mind. The key. The key. Happiness is not this mystical thing that we have no control over. And it's more than just attitude. You can control your happiness. I'm glad you asked. How? By manipulating certain neurotransmitters in your brain known as dopamine and serotonin. There's an area in your brain known as the pleasure center, aka the reward circuit, where your dopamine and serotonin levels exist. And your actions impact your level of dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine affects your voluntary movement and your mood. Dopamine and serotonin contribute heavily to your happy factor. And it's possible to have too much dopamine and serotonin, which impacts your level of happiness. Serotonin regulates your temperature, sleep, mood, sexual desire, appetite, and your memory. Too little dopamine has been linked to depression, Parkinson's disease, attention deficit disorder, and insomnia. Too much dopamine can make you high and also has been linked to schizophrenia. Body. Exercise is good for more than just muscles, you know. You ever wonder why you feel so good after you exercise? Exercise increases your blood calcium levels, which in turn increases the dopamine production in your brain. And your dopamine fights depression. Drugs are chemical. Drugs manipulate the way your naturally occurring happy hormones function. Did you ever wonder why people that are on drugs are so happy? It's because drugs mimic the happy chemical. Drugs release an abnormal amount of nerve impulses, which in turn causes that heightened sense of pleasure. Once the high wears off, so does the euphoria. Hence the reason why we have addicts. An addict is constantly chasing that happy, euphoric feeling that the drug gives them. Drugs aren't the only thing that can make you high. Caffeine can have the same effect. It increases your dopamine levels too. Hence the reason why a lot of diet pills, energy drinks, and mood-enhancing products have huge levels of caffeine. Hence the reason why you feel super energized after you take a bunch of caffeine. Love. Whether it's romantic love or non-romantic love, love causes your dopamine levels to soar. But did you know that when it comes to romantic love, most people get the most bang for their buck within 6 to 12 months? This is where their levels of dopamine reaches its highest heights. Why? Because new is affiliated with exciting, and common is affiliated with boring. So how does one keep an old relationship new and exciting? By doing new and exciting things. Duh. Music. From the moment that you were conceived, you became one with rhythm. We use music for all sorts of things for our life. Rarely do we think of it as something negative. Most times we use music for getting in the mood, bum chicka bow bow, or maybe enjoying a moment with your family. Sound waves impacts your heart rate, and your heart rate impacts your level of stress. Your level of stress impacts your level of serotonin. Extremely loud music and heavily repeating musical patterns, as well as music that's not harmonic, have all been linked to anger, aggression, behavioral issues, and hyperactivity. I know what you're thinking, but why? It causes a disruption of symmetry between the left side and the right side of your brain. Music is so powerful that governments have used music as a psychological tool to drive their captives nuts. Sex. 6 and 9. Oh, now you're listening. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about sex, baby. Sex also increases your level of dopamine. You ever wonder why some people fall in love after great sex?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because their dopamine levels are increased. In short, hot monkey sex increases your happiness. Happy feelings.